Hello everyone, myself N. Rajeshwari. I am working as contract lecturer in electrical department in Government Polytechnic Cheviar College. I am dealing with the subject electrical power systems, and today I will discuss about the introduction of transmission line parameters. So what are the transmission line parameters? How we use these parameters in transmission lines? What is the calculation of these parameters in performance of transmission lines? In previous classes, we studied about uh, what are the effects of current distortion and HVDC transmission systems. So AC transmission and bulk power transmission. So these are all we discussed in the previous classes. So today I want to discuss about the introduction of transmission line parameters. First, what are the transmission line parameters? Resistance, inductance, and capacitance are the three types of transmission line parameters. So these will affect the value of power or voltage transmitted in the transmission lines. So what is the effect? What are the use of these transmission lines? We will see in this class. So coming to the first thing, in inductance will affect the one of the parameter which affect the transmission line voltages. So inductance in single phase transmission line. So for this, what is the definition of an inductance? So the inductance is defined as the flux linkages per unit current and measured in henries. So inductance L is given by N phi by I or psi by I. Psi is the flux linkages, total flux linkages per ampere. Ampere is the per unit current. So L equal to N phi by I is the inductance of single phase line in henries. So psi is equal to flux linkages, which is equal to N phi by I. N is the number of turns. By using these inductance in single phase line, we have some effects due to these inductance present. This one of the factor parameter used in transmission lines. So a single phase line consists of two parallel conductors which form a rectangular loop of 1 ton. So two parallel lines are conducted like that, which forms a ton, single ton. This is the rectangular loop of a 1 ton, and a changing magnetic flux is set up when an alternating current flows through the conductors. So whenever conductor is present with the supply, so whenever which allows the AC supply, AC current in the conductors, these conductors will changes the magnetic flux setup, and these flux links the loop, and hence loop possesses the inductance. So in this conductor from sorry, flux is linking with the these conductors. So these conductor flux will possesses the inductance of the single phase line. So consider this is the two rings of radius. This radius has small r, and in internal radius of x is the distance or radius, and dx is the small radius for this ring, and capital D is the distance between the two parallel conductors. So consider a single phase overhead line consisting of two parallel conductors of radius small r meters. spaced d meters apart as shown in figure below. Sorry. So this is the capital D is the spacing between the two parallel conductors, and X is the distance of inner ring. This is the smallest distance, as smaller is the radius of this parallel conductor. These two two conductors are placed in parallel manner. In order to find the inductance of conductor, we shall have to consider the flux linkages with it. So the total flux, how much flux will link with this conductor, we will find the inductance of the conductor with the considering of flux linkages. Let I be the current in the conductor and Ix be the current through the ring of thickness dx at a distance x meters from the center of the conductor. So this is the x meters from center of the conductor, and small r is the radius, and dx is the smallest distance, and capital D is the space or distance between the two parallel conductors. So current density in the ring will be given by Ix by pi x square, and in the conductor is Ix by pi r square. Assuming uniform current density, we have Ix by pi x square, which is equal to Ix by pi r square. So Ix is equal to I times of x square by r square. So this x square will multiplied with this Ix. So Ix x square by pi r square. So this pi and this pi will get cancelled. So Ix is equal to I times x square by r square. Field strength at a distance x from the center of the conductor. So which is given by Hx. Hx is equal to I into x square by r square into 1 by 2 pi x. So this is the field strength at a distance x meters from the center of the conductor. So by simplifying this, I into x by 2 pi r square. So which is Ix square Ix. So the in here x and x will cancel. So Ix by 2 pi r square is the final field strength at a distance of x meters from the center of the conductor. After that, we have to find the flux density. In this flux density dx, mu naught and mu r hx. So mu into h is the b, where b is equal to mu h. So mu is mu naught into mu r. So bx is equal to mu naught mu r into hx. So which is equal to mu naught mu r into hx is ix by 2 pi r square. So ix by 2 pi r square is the hx. By substituting this, where flux through the cylindrical shell of radial thickness dx and axial length 1 meter long will be dx into 1 into dx. So where dx is mu naught into mu r into ix by 2 pi r square. So we'll substitute these values here. Mu naught into mu r into ix by 2 pi r square into 1 into dx. But the flux linked with x square by r square is of the conductor. So this is the flux linked with this x square r square of the conductors. So the linkage of the shell will be given by mu naught into mu r into ix by 2 pi r square dx into x square by r square. So where mu naught into mu r ix cube. So by multiplying this x with x square, we will get x cube. And this r square into r square will be r power 4. So mu naught mu naught into mu r into ix cube by 2 pi r power 4 into small dx. So this is the linkage of the shell. The linkage inside the conductor will be get with the integration of these linkage with the limits 0 to r. So r is the upper limit of the conductor and 0 is the lower limit. By integrating these flux linkages, we will get the linkage inside the conductor. So the integration over 0 to r mu naught mu r I divided by 2 pi r power 4 into x cube dx. So where mu naught and mu r and 2 pi and r power 4 and also I is a, these are constant values. By common these terms, so mu naught mu r I by 2 pi r power 4 0 to small r x cube dx. So mu naught into mu r I by 2 pi r power 4 into by integrating this x cube dx, we will get x power 4 by 4 because the integration of x cube will be x power 4 divided by 4. Where by putting these upper and lower limits, by substituting these limits, r power 4 by 4 minus 0 power 4 by 4. So where a 0 term is 0, so we will get r power 4 by 4. So by cancelling these r power 4, and finally we'll get mu naught mu r into I by 4 pi, 4 into 28 pi. So this is a linkage inside the conductor. Next, consider the flux between the conductors and the flux external to the conductor. In this one, this is the inside of the conductor. We have to find the external to the conductor also. We have to find the flux. So consider the flux between the conductors, that is flux external to the conductor. So the field strength at a distance x from the center, and hx is equal to I by 2 pi x, where bx is equal to mu naught mu r hx. And mu naught mu r I by 2 pi x, where mu naught into I divided by 2 pi x, where mu r is equal to 1 for air. The flux through a cylindrical shell of radial thickness dx and axial length 1 meter long. So which is equal to bx into 1 into dx with the presence of thickness dx. So mu naught I by 2 pi x into dx. By integrating this one, we will get the total flux linkage outside the conductor with the limit small r to capital D. So mu naught into I by 2 pi x into 1 into dx. Mu naught I is the common term constant, and we'll take this outside, and 2 pi also constant value. So mu naught I by 2 pi with the integration of small r to capital D 1 by x dx. So mu naught I by 2 pi into log of x with the limit small r to capital D, because the integration of 1 by x will be log x. So here by substituting these two limits, mu naught into I by 2 pi log of capital D minus log of small r, so which is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi log of capital D by small r. because log D minus log R will be log of D by R by the formula. So finally, we have to do total flux linkage per conductor. So the total flux linkages per conductor will be flux linkages inside the conductor plus flux linkages outside the conductor. So by substituting these two from the above calculated values, mu naught into mu r I by 8 pi is the inside of the conductor, and outside of the conductor mu naught I by 2 pi log of d by r. So by these are the two mu naught, mu naught and I by 2 pi is a common for two products. So mu naught into I by 2 pi into remaining mu r by 4 plus log of d by r. The inductance per conductor will be flux linkages per ampere. So which is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi into mu r by 4 plus log of d by r divided by I. The inductance per conductor per meter is equal to mu naught by 2 pi into mu r by 4 plus log of d by r. So where 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7 by 2 pi into mu r by 4 plus log of d by r. So where by taking this as in this 2 pi into 2 times, so 2 into 10 to the power of minus 7 mu r by 4 by multiplying this one 2 into 10 to the power of minus 7 uh, by 4. So here mu r by 2 plus log of d by r will be 2 into 10 power minus 7. So mu r by 2 plus 2 log d by r into 10 to the power of minus 7 Henry per meters is the inductance per conductor per meter. If the conductor is non-magnetic material, then L is the inductance. Inductance per conductor will be 0.5. Non-magnetic means mu r is equal to 1 for air. So 0.5 plus 2 log of d by r into 10 to the power of minus 7 Henry per meter. In case of Henry per kilometers, our inductance per conductor per kilometer will be 0.5 plus 2 log of d by r into 10 to the power of minus 4 Henry per kilometers. Then coming to the inductance for both the conductors will be 2 times of the above value. So 2 into 0.5 plus 2 log of d by r into 10 to the power of minus 4 Henry per kilometer. So that is inductance per loop per kilometer. So 1 plus 4 log d by r into 10 to the power of minus 4 Henries per kilometer. So we will see the problem regarding the above formulas. We will calculate the single phase inductance of the conductor. So the single phase line has two parallel conductors 2 meters apart, and the diameter of each conductor is 1.2 centimeters, and calculate the loop inductance per kilometer of the line. So for this problem we will have to do the solution as first we have to take the given data. So parallel conductors of 2 meters apart. The spacing between the conductor D equal to 2 meters, which is into 200 centimeters, because the diameter of each conductor will be in centimeters. So we have to change the units of either diameter or distance between or spacing of the conductor. So I am changing these meters in converted into centimeters. So spacing of conductors small d is equal to 2 meters, which is 200 centimeters. And radius of the conductor small r is equal to 1.2 by 2, which is equal to 0.6 centimeters. And the loop inductance per meter length of the line will be 10 power minus 7 into mu r plus 4 log of d by r henries. So 10 to the power of minus 7 into 1 plus 4 log 200 is the 2 meters distance, and small r is the 0.6 centimeters. By substituting these values, and finally we'll get a 24.223 into 10 to the power of minus 7 henries as the inductance per meter length. And the loop inductance per kilometer length of the line will be given by, so this is multiplied with 1000, we will get per kilometer length. So we have to do this 24.23 into 10 to the power of minus 7 into 1000. We will get 24.23 into 10 to the power of minus 4 henries. That is 2.423 millihenries per loop inductance per kilometer of the length. And we'll see the another problem regarding this loop inductance. A single phase line has two parallel conductors 3 meters apart, and the radius of each conductor being 1 centimeter. Calculate the loop inductance per kilometer of the line if the material of the conductor is first one copper and the second one steel with permeabilities of 1 and 100. So for this also we have to do the given take the given data. Spacing of conductor D is equal to 3 meters, which is equal to 300 centimeters, and radius of the conductor small r is equal to 1 centimeter. So loop inductance per meter length is length of the line is equal to 10 to the power of minus 7 into mu r plus 4 log d by r henries. So with a copper as a conductor, mu r equal to 1, and loop inductance per meter length of the line will be 10 to the power of minus 7 into 1 plus 4 log of 300 by 1 henries. So by simplifying, and we will get the answer 23.8 into 10 to the power of minus 7 henries, and loop inductance per kilometer length of the line will be 23.8 into 10 to the power of minus 7 into 1000 henries. So we by multiplying this term, so this is a minus 7 and plus 3 will get minus 4. So 23.8 into 10 to the power of minus 4 henries, that is 2.38 millihenries. So this is the with copper as a conductor, the loop inductance per meter length and per kilometer length of the line. The second one with steel as a conductor, mu r is equal to 100. The loop inductance per meter length of the line will be 10 to the power of minus 7 into 100 plus 4 log of 300 by 1 henries. So which is equal to 122.8 into 10 to the power of minus 7 henry. The loop inductance per kilometer length of the line will be 122.8 into 10 to the power of minus 7 into 1000. So which is equal to 122.8 into 10 to the power of minus 4 henries, or 12.28 millihenries. So with these are the answers with steel as a conductor. The loop inductance per meter length and loop inductance per kilometer length of the line. This is the all about inductance of single phase line. And coming to the inductance of three-phase transmission line. In this three-phase transmission line, we have the two classifications with a three-phase symmetrical spaced conductor, which is equally spaced, and three-phase asymmetrically spaced conductor with unequal spaced conductors. So these are the two types of three-phase transmission lines. And first, we'll see the three-phase symmetrical spaced conductors with equally spaced conductors. So capital A, B, C are the three conductors equally spaced at a distance of d meters, and radius of the conductors is small r meters. So these are the distances between A, B, C. So capital D is the spacing between the three conductors which are placed with same distance, same meters. That is capital D meters. And the inductance per conductor per phase, a conductor is about the phase per meter, will be given by the formula 10 power minus 7 into 0.5 plus 2 log of capital D by R Henry per meter for equally spacing. And inductance per conductor per kilometer will be given by the above formulas only, but it is taken with a three-phase transmission line, because these are three equal distances. The inductance per conductor per kilometer is equal to 10 to the power of minus 4 into 0.5 plus 2 log of capital D by R Henry per kilometer. So this is a three-phase asymmetrical spaced conductor with unequal spacing. So ABC are the three conductors unequally spaced at a distance of DAB, DBC, DCA meters, and radius of the conductors is small r meters. So this is DAB, DBC, and DCA are the three asymmetrical spaced conductors with unequal spacing. So with these unequal spaced conductors, the inductance per conductor per meter will be given by 10 to the power of minus 7 into 0.5 plus 2 log of cube root of DAB, DBC, DCA divided by small r, where r is the radius, Henry per meters. And inductance per conductor per kilometer will be given by 10 to the power of minus 4 into 0.5 plus 2 log of cube root of DAB, DBC, and DCA by small r Henry per kilometer. These are the two equations for inductance of three-phase transmission lines with equally spaced conductors and unequal spaced conductors. So we'll see the problem on equally spaced conductors. So that is find the inductance of three-phase transmission line using 1.24 centimeters as the diameter of conductors when these are placed at a corners of equilateral triangle of each side is 2 meters. And inductance per conductor per meter, and second thing is the inductance per conductor per kilometer we have to find. For this we have to write the data. The conductor spacing capital D is equal to 2 meters, which is equilateral triangle with equal spacing. 2 meters is equal to 200 centimeters. And the conductor radius will be small r is equal to, in the problem they are given that diameter of the conductors, that is 1.24. We have to find out the radius of the conductor. So 1.24 by 2, so which is equal to 0.62 centimeters is the radius of the conductor. So the inductance per conductor per meter will be given by the formula 10 to the power of minus 7 into 0.5 plus 2 log of capital D by R is capital D is 200 centimeters divided by 0.62 centimeters to Henry per meter. by simplifying, finally we will get the answer 12 into 10 to the power of minus 7 henries per inductance per conductor per meter is 12 into 10 to the power of minus 7 henries. And the inductance per conductor per kilometer will be given by, we will multiply these meters, inductance per conductor per meter with the 1000, we will get the in kilometers. So inductance per conductor per kilometer is equal to 12 into 10 to the power of minus 7 into 1000 henries. So in that, this is the plus 3 minus 7, so we'll get minus 4. 12 into 10 to the power of minus 4 henries. And 1.2 into 10 to the power of minus 3 henries. So 1.2 millihenries is the inductance per conductor per kilometer of the three-phase symmetrically spaced conductors. And next, we will see the another problem with the unequal spaced conductors. So in that, find the inductance of the three-phase transmission line using 1.24 centimeters diameter conductors when these are placed at the corners of triangles of the sides 2 meters, 2.5 meters, and 4.5 meters. And calculate the value as inductance per conductor per meter, and also in second one inductance per conductor per kilometer. So in that, the given data will be, the figure shows the three conductors ABC with unequal spacings DAB, DBC, DCA, where DAB is 2 meters, DBC 2.5 meters, and DCA will be 4.5 meters. So DAB equal 2 meters, DBC 2.5 meters, and DCA will be 4.5 meters. The radius of the conductor small r is equal to 1.24 by 2, which is equal to 0.62 centimeters. And equivalent equilateral spacing D equivalent is equal to cube root of DAB DBC into DCA. So D equivalent is given by cube root of 2 into 2.5 into 4.5. So by simplifying this, we'll get a 2.82 meters as a D equivalent or spacing, equilateral spacing. So D equivalent is equal to 282 centimeters. So inductance per conductor per meter is given by 10 to the power of minus 7 into 0.5 plus 2 log of cube root of DAB, DBC, and DCA by small r, Henry per meters. So where 10 to the power of minus 7 into 0.5 plus 2 times of log of D equivalent divided by small r. So which is equal to 10 to the power of minus 7 into 0.5 plus 2 log of 282 divided by 0.62. So which is equal to 12.74 into 10 to the power of minus 7 henries. And 12.74 into 10 to the power of minus henry is the inductance per conductor per meter. And coming to inductance per conductor per kilometer will be given by 10 to the power of minus 4 into 0.5 plus 2 log of cube root of DAB, DBC, DCA divided by small r Henry per kilometer, which is equal to 10 to the power of minus 4 into 0.5 plus 2 log of D equivalent by R. So 10 to the power of minus 4 into 0.5 plus 2 log of 282 divided by 0.62 which is equal to 12.74 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Henries is the inductance per conductor per kilometer, which is equal to 1.274 into 10 to the power of minus 3 Henries, or 1.274 millihenries is the inductance per conductor per kilometer. Next, need for transposition of overhead transmission lines. Why we need this transposition of overhead lines? So this is the 1/3 of small d, that is the total parallel distance, small d, and this is also 1/3 of d, 1/3 of d. These are power lines and these are telephone lines. So we are connecting like this, interchanging connection. So this insulator to this, and this will come in to this insulator to this. This is the transposition of overhead transmission lines. Generally, the transmission line conductors of three-phase, three-wire system are irregularly spaced because it is difficult to maintain an exact height of the conductor from the ground on the towers or poles. So if we connect like that, normal connection, so the three wires are with unequal spaced or irregular spaced. So that the difficulty is to maintain the height of the conductor from ground to towers or poles. So in order to maintain the exact height of the conductor, we have to use this transposition of overhead lines. So this is the problem. Due to this problem, the transmission line constants, conductor constants, which are RLC, that is resistance, inductance, capacitance, are not same for all phases. With the normal connection of the transmission line conductors. So these three wires are irregularly spaced. So the line conductor constants also not same for all the three phases. So in order to eliminate this problem, we will use this transposition of overhead transmission line. This is shown in this figure. By connecting like this, we will choose the transposition of overhead transmission lines. In order to equalize these line constants, the three lines must be transposed. That is, change of position is a transposition in such a way that the three lines occupies a position relatively otherwise for L by 3 of the total length. So this is length of wire is total length is L. So this is the IL by 3. This is also L by 3, L by 3. By taking L by 3 of the total length, so we will equalize the line constant in three lines which are transposed. So in this position, we will take all the line constants as equal. So this is the transposition of the conductors for R phase. So this is like this, and Y phase, this is connected with like this, and D phase is also like this. So this is the transposition of the overhead transmission lines. So we'll see the effects of transposition. So the transposition in transmission lines will be balance the capacitance of the line, and so that the electrostatically induced voltage in the complete length of the line, it is also balance the inductance of the line, and hence the electromagnetically induced voltage is balanced in the complete length of the line. So by proper coordination of transposition of power and nearby communication lines, so in induced voltages can be reduced to very small, and it also reduces the noise in nearby communication lines. So these are the effects of transposition. By transposition, we get the balance of capacitance of the line, and so that electrostatically induced voltage will be balanced in complete length of the line, and also it balances the inductance of the line. So electromagnetically induced voltage will be balanced with the complete length of the line. And by these are two balances, by proper coordination of transposition, power and nearby communication lines, the voltages can be reduced to very small, and it also reduces the noise in the nearby communication lines. So these are the uses for by using transposition of conductors. So we'll see in the next class with the inductance in transposed conductors. So transposition of lines, what is the inductance? What are the formulas for the inductance of transposed lines? We will see in the next classes. Uh, so this is about the today class. In the next class, we will see the inductance of transposed lines and also capacitance of the uh, single phase line, and also the capacitance of three phase equally spaced conductors and with three phase unequally spaced conductors. So these are the three, and also we will see about the transposed conductors inductance. So I will explain in the next class. So this is about the today's class. Thank you.